Yes, bingo, you just re-engaged somebody in a buying conversation. You might want to ask them, can I ask, what's changed since then to better sort of qualify them, on the way back in? Or they're going to say, no, I'm not, we're not interested in that. We didn't end up going ahead with it and now we no longer want to do it. In which case you can say, oh, is there anything else I could help with? And they might say, actually, yeah, do you guys do? And again, a buyer is a buyer is a buyer. It doesn't matter that they didn't go ahead that time. Their circumstances might have changed, or they might be interested in doing something else. So that's one that you can implement straight away tomorrow, and that will bring you, if you make enough of those calls, if you were to put an hour aside and you were to make 20 of those calls, you'll probably end up having 6 or 7 conversations, and you'll probably re-engage one person, and it'll take you an hour.
Welcome to the Master Dealmakers Secrets podcast. And now, here's sales growth strategist, John Blake.
Welcome to Master Dealmakers Secrets. I'm John Blake. This is episode 286. And today, I'm going to show you 5 ways that you can make sales this week with leads that you already have and with people in your existing ecosystem. So let's get straight into it. I have a number of conversations with clients on a regular basis, and everyone is so ready to do cold outreach. They want to get it, they want to do that. They want to ask me how they should do cold calls. They want to ask me how they should write cold emails. They want to ask me how they should send DMs. And I have systems for all of that. What I find is interesting, though, is that there are often better opportunities with clients and inquiries and proposals and people that you already have relationships with. And so even though cold email, cold calling, all those things are valid. Like you hear so many people saying, oh, cold calling's dead, cold email's dead. People don't say cold email's dead. Or normally people that are trying to sell something different to cold email will tell you that cold email is dead. All these things work. They work at a point when you've exhausted all of your other opportunities because, interestingly enough, the other opportunities are easier to convert. So what I'm going to go through with you is some places that you can look before you go down the cold email path, before you go down the cold DM path, and before you go down the cold call path. Okay, so the first one is unconverted proposals. So these are people that you've spoken to, that you've done some kind of needs analysis with, that you have presented a proposal to, but they, for whatever reason, didn't buy. And it doesn't even matter if they said no. Like you could go back to them, and I've got scripts for all of this, where you can go back to someone that inquired 3 years ago and have a conversation and simply say to them, hey, look, you inquired with us about buying a XYZ last year or, quite some time ago. Like normally you don't want to make it sound too long. I was curious, did you end up going ahead with that? Right? That's the most powerful question. And you can ask anyone that. It's a simple question that you can ask someone, even if it's been over 12 months or even 2 years, because it's more of an information gathering question rather than a sales type question. So unconverted proposals. And if you have been in my ecosystem for a while, you'll know that there are effectively 3 timelines. There's the first 90 days, so people that have inquired within the last 90 days. Then there's between 90 days and 120 days, so there's a strategy for that. And then there's the long-term one, which is anywhere from 120 days up to 2 years, or really as far back as what you want to go. Now, I've just given you the script for calling people that inquired between 4 months ago and 2 years ago. And you can pick up the phone and you can ring any of those people and you can simply have that conversation. Say, hey, you inquired a while ago with us. Purpose for my call today was to find out if you actually end up going ahead with that or not. And they're either going to say yes, in which case you can say, okay, great. You can get some feedback and say, was there any particular reason that you decided to go with that other option on this occasion? Great, get some feedback. Second thing that they might say is, no, we actually didn't go ahead with that. And you can say, oh, is that still something that you want to get done? And if they say yes, and you can say, oh, well, happy to revisit that with you if that's something that you're able to. Yes, bingo, you just re-engaged somebody in a buying conversation. You might want to ask them, can I ask, what's changed since then to better sort of qualify them on the way back in, or they're going to say, no, I'm not, we're not interested in that. We didn't end up going ahead with it, and now we no longer want to do it. In which case you can say, oh, is there anything else I could help you with? And they might say, actually, yeah, do you guys do? And again, a buyer is a buyer is a buyer. It doesn't matter that they didn't go ahead that time. Their circumstances might have changed, or they might be interested in doing something else. So that's one that you can implement straight away tomorrow, and that will bring you, if you make enough of those calls, if you were to put an hour aside and you were to make 20 of those calls, you'll probably end up having 6 or 7 conversations, and you'll probably re-engage one person, and it'll take you an hour to make 20 outbound calls. In that hour, you will have 6 or 7 conversations, and you will find that at least one of those people are still interested in buying, or are interested in buying something. So that's one that you can put into practice straight away. The second one is active client referrals. So that's just ringing existing clients and saying, hey, look, really appreciate the work that we're doing together. I want to, give you a call and let you know that we really do appreciate you guys. And quite frankly, if we had a magic wand and we could duplicate any of our clients, it'd be you. With that said, is there anyone that you have in your network, or even potentially in the same business that we're not dealing with, that you think we could potentially help in the same way that we've helped you? Now, I have a longer framework for you to do that, but that's a good one. You could just ring up. These people already know you. They already like you. They already buy from you, and simply ask them that. And you will find that if you have 10 or 11 of those conversations, you'll find that 1 or 2 people will be like, actually, yeah, I do have someone that I think could be good. And then what you might want to do is describe what a good client looks like. And in doing so, describe the 3 biggest problems that your clients have that you can potentially help them. And they'll probably be the same things that active client had going on in their business before you help them. The third one is inactive clients that you can call and ask for referrals. So similar type situation to the first 2, unconverted proposals and active client referrals. Simply call people that haven't done anything with you for a while, see how they're going, seeing what they're up to. One of the best questions that I find that you can ask a client that you haven't spoken to for a while is, so tell me, what are you guys up to at the moment? What's your big focus? What's your biggest focus right now? It's a great question. It'll tell you what they're doing. And while they're doing that, you can either potentially identify things that you can help them with, or you could even potentially identify another resource or another business that could potentially help them in terms of what they're currently focused on. So inactive clients, calling them, you can re-engage them, or you can ask them for referrals. The fourth one is referral partners. So if you're like most business, you have got people who are referring business to you already, and they're doing it by default rather than by design. And what I do with all the clients I work with is we identify who their best referral partners are, and we strengthen those relationships. And what does strengthen those relationships look like? It just means catching up with them, perhaps sending them some business, having a coffee with them, or having lunch with them, or whatever it is that they prefer to do, and finding out what they're up to and seeing if there's a way that you can add value to their business. And it might be you selling them something or helping them with your product or service. But as I said before, it could just be putting them in touch with someone that can help them, that is appropriate for the particular focus that they have with their business at this particular point in time. And then the last one, and this is a really overlooked one, is there are people that have inquired with you that for whatever reason you never got a hold of, or perhaps you just didn't get back to them. So if you've got a central inbox where most of your inquiries come in on, do a search in your inbox and see if you can bring up all of those inquiries. So all of those web forms or whatever it is that your central point of inquiry from your website or how people find you, and make a list of those people, because what you'll find is that there's a fairly large percentage of those people that you might have tried to call maybe once or twice, but for whatever reason, you never got a hold of them. And so if you do that, that could literally keep you busy and generate so many more clients before you even have to start thinking about cold email or DMs or cold calling. Of course, if you would like some help with this in your business, the best place to start with that is to do a sales process audit. And that is where I get you to complete a customized questionnaire for your business. And once you've completed that, you let me know, and then I run the data and I will come back to you with at least 3 immediately actionable strategies that can uncover hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost sales, in hidden sales in your business. And it shows us exactly what it is that you need to address in your business to make sure that you are firing off all cylinders. So for a couple of $100, it is a great place to start. It will give you a crystal clear understanding on exactly what you need to fix. In many cases, you can double, if not triple, your conversion rate. As a general rule of thumb, if your conversion rate is 25% or 30% or lower, it is absolutely worth doing it. If you have a sense that you could be converting more of the inquiries that you get into paying clients, you're not going mad. There are always going to be opportunities. And I've just given you 4 opportunities to do that with your existing ecosystem, with your existing level of inquiry. So best place to go is to do a Google search, John Blake Sales. You will then find my website. On my website, you want to go to Sales Audit. Click on Sales Audit. That will give you a rundown on exactly what it is that is involved. You can register right there. You can book into my calendar. And as soon as I get notification that you have registered, I will send you your customized questionnaire. You will complete that, and then we will catch up on Zoom at a time that you choose, and we can go through the results. So I look forward to talking to you. As always, thank you so much for listening to the podcast, and I will talk to you soon. Cheers.
You've been listening to Master Dealmaker Secrets with John Blake. Subscribe to get more in-depth strategies and maximize your sales process with new episodes every other week. And double your inquiry to sale conversion with the lead flow you already have. Go to johnblakeaudio.com for his exclusive, free, no-fluff audio training and companion PDF guide.